We're gonna shoot it in Norway, and it'll be a motorcycle jump off a cliff into a base jump. It all comes down to one thing: the audience.
Mission Impossible as a franchise has undergone a long journey to reach its current status, and despite the fact that the earlier movies played a significant role in Tom Cruise's rise to stardom, the franchise really struggled at first to establish a solid foundation, one that wasn't susceptible to sudden collapse.
Grace, you have to let go. Grace, you gotta let me go. You gotta let me jump across, or we're gonna die. You gotta trust me. Grace. Okay. Come on, Grace. Give me your hand. You gotta jump. Trust me. I won't let you fall. Come on. I won't let you fall. Jump, Grace. Jump. What are you waiting for? Do it!
So how did they turn this around? How did the newer installments not only save the franchise, but also solidify its position at the top of Hollywood blockbusters? Well, Dead Reckoning is a perfect example of how they accomplished this, because even if it's not the strongest entry, the movie does one thing particularly well. Dead Reckoning serves as a masterclass in one specific aspect of filmmaking: building situations. Unlike most movies that consist of multiple standalone interconnected scenes, Dead Reckoning follows a different approach. The experience is divided into a few larger kick-ass sequences that span multiple scenes, from the thrilling airport sequence to the intense car chase in Rome, the flamboyant party, and finally the epic train sequence at the end. Each of these function as a comprehensive situation, with scenes working together seamlessly for durations ranging from 8 minutes to even half an hour. These sequences all share a similar format and effectively fulfill their intended purpose, because 1, they are highly entertaining, 2, they're packed with intensity, and 3, they provide a satisfying journey for the audience. So in today's video, I want to explore how Dead Reckoning constructs its sequences, examining their structures, formats, and conclusions. So pay attention as we dive into the art of building situations and the intricate structure that makes these sequences so compelling and enjoyable. First and foremost, when it comes to the situations presented in this film, they are skillfully enveloped in a captivating sense of entertainment. This is achieved by quickly establishing their ultimate goal and highlighting the complications/obstacles that could hinder their progress. In The Anatomy of Film Perfection, Philip Mentos writes, "The sequences are their own mini-movies with a defining objective and obstacle. The best way to make a sequence stand on its own is to build it around a mini-sized plot. What does the hero need to do in it, and why, and when, and what's in the way? Once the mini goal is established, it's like a starting shot of a race that ends when the mini goal's finish line is crossed. There's your constant sense of purpose and achievement and progression right there." So let's take a closer look at the airport sequence as an example. What is the ultimate objective? What does Ethan need to do? Well, he needs to ID the buyer who has the other half of the key, sell them their half of the key, and follow that person until they give it to the person who knows what it unlocks.
So, you ID the buyer, pick his pockets, Bob's your uncle.
No, you're going to sell the buyer our half of the key while we figure out the buyer's connecting flight and book you a seat on that plane. So you can follow the key wherever it goes.
Now, why does he need to do this? Well, he needs to do this because whoever has the key has control of the entity.
The 2 halves of this key just might provide the means of controlling this entity.
When does he need to do this? As soon as possible, because everyone is trying to get control of the entity.
Meaning every government on the planet would kill us just to get that key.
Including home.
And finally, what's in his way? Well, agents of the intelligence community are trying to find him. So this airport sequence effectively has all these questions answered. Philip Mentos also writes, "The challenge of the sequences increases. A sequence involving action should never be a flat line but an ever-increasing slope. keep throwing in bigger hurdles and issues to crank things up within sequences and from one sequence to another. That's how to keep the audience glued to the screen. And this airport sequence does this perfectly. Because yes, at the beginning of the situation, what is in Ethan's way? It's the agents of the intelligence community that are trying to find him. But as the scene continues to progress, more things get thrown in there. Ethan gets pickpocketed by a thief, which throws him off. Later on, he sees a flash of Gabriel, which throws him off. On top of that, there is a nuclear bomb in the airport, which also throws them off. Things just continue to escalate, one thing after the other. It's not as simple as this is the mission and this is what's in our way. No, this is the mission and this is in our way, and then as we're doing it, more things are gonna come up because that's real life. Nothing ever goes according to plan. Lastly, Philip Mentos mentions in his book, sequences are completed with a loss until the last one. The objectives are reached in negative and unexpected ways in a way that keeps the plot moving. If a hero wins a sequence, it could mean the end of the movie. If a hero loses a sequence, it could mean they're passive. But if a hero succeeds in a sequence through failure, it means that they can actively push the plot with their actions while still allowing the plot to stay alive. Yes, Ethan didn't ID the buyer and plant the key so that he can follow them to the right person, but he is on Grace's tracks, who does have the key and does know a buyer. So yes, he did lose the key, but he knows who to follow. This is success through failure, and exactly what Phil Mento mentions in his book of Anatomy of Film Perfection. The last thing I want to do in this video is give my props to the man, the myth, the legend, Tom Cruise, because in my opinion, this guy is the GOAT. And I'm not talking about he's the best actor, I just think he's the best action blockbuster movie star. And yes, there's The Rock, who's also really popular and can get a lot of people to go to the movies, but I don't think his movies are nearly as good as Tom Cruise's. And even if you don't agree with me that Tom Cruise is the movie star GOAT, you gotta at least give it to the guy that he's the best stunt actor alive today. I mean, goddamn, look at this. I mean, this is absolutely insane, and the fact that he's 60 years old doing stunts like this is insane, okay? Where's The Rock at, okay? The Rock ain't pulling off no shit like this. Come on, riding a motorcycle off a cliff into a base jump. I mean, Tom Cruise has earned it. He is the motherfucking GOAT. And I think that crown used to be held by Jackie Chan, who is a phenomenal stunt actor, but I think it's safe to say that now the torch has been passed on to Tom Cruise. And I know some people may disregard the stunts as like, yeah, whatever, they're cool, but it's not the substance of a film. But hold on, because I want to show you an example of how doing your own stunts can significantly enhance your movie. So let's take a look at another blockbuster action movie that came out this summer that also starred an iconic action movie star. And that, of course, is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, starring Harrison Ford. Now, if you guys have been following along, you know this movie is bombing at the box office. And I'm not trying to say that this is the reason why, but this is certainly one of the things that is the weaker aspects of the film. If we look at the chase scene in Dial of Destiny, it doesn't feel real at all. It doesn't feel as though we're there with those characters getting chased, which is what a good action scene is supposed to do. It's supposed to make the audience feel as though we're part of the action. And the best way to take us out of the action is to make it feel fake, because we all know they're just acting. We know that what's behind them is green screen. We know they're not actually being chased. Whereas if we look at the car chase in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, that scene works extremely well and serves as one of the stronger action sequences of the movie. And that's because it's real. There is no CGI or green screen. It's actually Tom Cruise in the car with the camera right next to him, doing all the stunts, doing the donuts, doing the skids, bumping into cars and driving around crazy. And that lends to a much more immersive experience for the audience. So that's how much doing your own stunts can improve your action movie, because it really makes the experience a lot more impactful. So I think we just need to acknowledge the effort that this man puts into his movies, because you can see it in the final product. And I certainly appreciate it, because man, this guy is single-handedly keeping action cinema alive. With streaming platforms taking over and movies coming out straight to those platforms, it's very hard to get people to go out to the movies nowadays. And Tom Cruise, like I said, is the last movie star. He can still pull in an audience and get them to pay $11 to $15 to go see a movie on the big screen. And I really hope that that never dies, because I love going to the movies. And movies like this should be seen on the big screen. So if you haven't seen Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, what are you doing? Go out there and go see it. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, comment down below if you guys seen Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning and if you guys liked it or not. Are you excited for part 2? And as always, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Peace.
This key, the one you picked from that man's pocket, it's worthless without this key. But together,